Just because you are famous doesn't mean you won't land into money trouble. A lot of famous people are known to lose money in many ways, including divorce, taxes, and bad investments. From rising to the top to falling flat on their faces into the poorhouse, here is a roundup of famous people who have lost it all. But first, ensure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell to be up to date. Let's get started. Number 10. Burt Reynolds. I've lost more money than is possible because I just haven't watched it, Reynolds told Vanity Fair in 2015. The movie star spent heavily on real estate, a private jet, 150 horses, and over $100,000 in toupees in the 80s, according to the Vanity Fair profile. After an expensive marriage to Lonnie Anderson, Reynolds experienced an expensive divorce. Due to large cuts and dwindling income, Reynolds couldn't pay back a $3.7 million loan to CVS and declared bankruptcy in 1999 while he was over $10 million in debt. A year later in 1997, Reynolds earned accolades for his role in the hit film Boogie Nights. Reynolds died still making movies in September 2018. Number 9. Lindsay Lohan. Known for roles in hits like The Parent Trap and Mean Girls, this former child star did all her growing up in the spotlight, and it wasn't a smooth journey. In 2010, the NY Daily News reported that she owed $600,000 in credit card debt. 2 years later, she settled a $93,000 debt with the IRS. In 2016, she was kicked out of her London apartment because she owed $137,000 in rent. Today, her appearances in the tabloids have grown fewer, and she's making a return to TV with a role in Sick Note. Number 8. Toni Braxton. R&B singer Toni Braxton was a millionaire who lost it all, not just once, but twice. While Braxton sold 20 million albums, she claims she signed a bogus deal that paid her royalties of less than $2,000. After launching an unsuccessful lawsuit against her record label, she declared bankruptcy in 1998. Facing multiple lawsuits from creditors, she filed for bankruptcy for the second time in 2012. Meanwhile, it looks like Braxton may be on her way to a third bankruptcy, with reports in early 2019 alleging she owes more than $500,000 in back taxes. Number 7. Mike Tyson. In his heyday, the most feared boxer to ever step into the ring, Mike Tyson earned more than $400 million during his boxing career. Iron Mike was also known for his extravagant lifestyle, shelling out big bucks on jewelry, mansions, sports cars, parties, and even Siberian tigers he kept as pets. When he declared bankruptcy in 2003, Tyson listed debts over $27 million, of which nearly $18 million came from unpaid taxes. Other debts included $600,000 in legal fees and $50,000 in unpaid child support. Number 6. Johnny Depp. At the top of his game, Depp was raking in $30 million for every Pirates of the Caribbean movie. However, Depp's penchant of fancy cars, mansions, and quite a few fun pills led to his lavish lifestyle come crashing down around him. In 2017, during a meeting with his financial team, Depp was dumbfounded to learn that he had racked up quite a bit of debt. Depp was quick to file a $25 million lawsuit against his financial team, alleging that they mishandled his millions and left him broke. According to his management team, Depp spends $33,000 a month on wine. Number 5. Actress Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is known for her roles in 1989's Batman and 1997's LA Confidential. In 1989, Basinger paid $20 million for the town of Brazelton, Georgia. She was expected to create a tourist attraction such as a theme park or a movie studio, but she instead declared bankruptcy in 1993 and had to sell the property. The bankruptcy was a huge news story at the time. Basinger was sued by Boxing Helena producer Carl Mazzacone for backing out of an oral contract to star in the film. The Los Angeles Supreme Court ordered her to pay damages and lawyer fees. Basinger eventually settled with Mainline Pictures in 1995, avoiding the initial $8.1 million judgment. Number 4. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009. The king of pop was also close to foreclosure on his famous Neverland home. Large amounts of spending required Jackson to take out loans, many of which he never paid back. Jackson's money problems got worse once he was involved in numerous expensive lawsuits and interest on his debt increased. At the time of his death, a forensic accountant estimated that Jackson owed $400 to $500 million. His estate has resolved the financial issues and Michael has been the top earning dead celebrity since 2012. Number 3. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was known as a great rebounder and teammate of Michael Jordan before becoming an eccentric celebrity. Outside of sports, Rodman was known for a short marriage to Carmen Electra and was eventually an unofficial U.S. ambassador to North Korea. In 2012, Rodman's lawyer said he could barely afford living expenses and could not pay child support to his 2 kids. At the time, he reportedly owed over $800,000 in back child support, but in court documents, his lawyer said he was broke and sick. Number 2. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman was a childhood star making $70,000 per episode of Different Strokes in the 80s, but by the time the show ended in 1986, his adopted parents and business advisor mismanaged his earnings. Coleman had trouble finding other work in Hollywood and eventually won a settlement against his parents and business advisor, but that was not enough to avoid bankruptcy in 1999. After lawyer fees and bad investments, Coleman had to work as a security guard. He faced some legal issues throughout the early 2000s and died in May of 2010. Have you ever heard a president going broke? This is what happened to our esteemed number 1, but before we get to our top spot, don't forget to subscribe. Number 1. General Ulysses S Grant. The 18th president of the USA became a partner of financial firm Grant & Ward, but Ferdinand Ward embezzled investors' money, leaving the firm and Grant bankrupt in 1884. Grant was receiving a military pension, but it wasn't enough as the president was also suffering from throat cancer. To make money, Grant had author Mark Twain publish his memoirs, but he died on July 23, 1886, before he could make money from his life story. If you were given $1 million, would you spend it all like our famous poor people, or would you invest it? And if you would invest it, what would your investments be? Please let us know in the comment section below, but first, like the video, check out the next one on the screen too. See ya!